Guys, welcome back for another EVE Online solo Omega video. I'm gonna be running a Frontier Barracks today, and these are C4 rat sites worth about 80 to 90 million in blue loot. As you see here, this is the first wave. We want to take down the upholders first because the upholder has the newt, and then the preserver is the one that has the repair. That's going to be our biggest goal because we don't want to spawn. We don't want to like overlap waves. We want to try to avoid that, especially on these wormhole sites. We don't want to bog ourselves down since everything is so newt heavy. But as you can see here, I came in at 0 because the 0 is so far out, but I also burned in a little bit. I'm running the Golem on these because it's a little more chill, but I kind of modified the fit a little bit, so I'm carrying a scanner with a prop mod. This is way I can just kind of do some scanning instead of switching ships and things like that. Prop mod will help me kind of cover distances as needed. I'm going to drop this MTU so I can start getting all the loot back up. But yeah, 3 waves, not a big deal. Once we get into wave 2, we'll have 2 awakened. We'll have awakened preservers, which are cruisers, and then we'll have some more sleepless upholders. We'll hang out with the sleepless upholders for a little bit just because they're the trigger, and they'll have the newts as well. These guys are at the very, very top of my flight range, so that's why it looks like it's taking a while to get them down, because missiles just have to fly quite a bit. As you can see here, yeah, we got 2 preservers and 3 upholders, and I'm going to grab these cruisers first. You can take down 2 of the 3 battleships just to get them off grid, but it's in the time it takes me to take down 1 battleship, I can just take down the 2 cruisers. And luckily these guys came in range a little bit. Based on where I'm at, the last range, or the last wave is probably going to be kind of far out, and we're going to have frigates on that wave as well. And those guys are going to be high priority. We're going to use drones to help take them down because the emergent preserver, those are the frigates, they're going to have web scram and neutralizer. And so we want our disruptor, actually, not scram. So if you are running a micro jump drive, you can actually get away from them and then kind of snipe them from a distance. But with the fit I'm running, we're just going to be taking care of them with drones and with the missiles. So at this point, we're just going to be hanging out and getting these battleships down. These guys are a little bit closer, so they're going to go down a little bit faster. But for the most part, these are pretty chill. If you can find a good C4 with a lot of barracks, and you can kind of run them back to back, you can do. This is probably like a maybe a 15-minute run if you just don't do any salvaging or whatever. So you can make what, 80, 85 pretty quick, about 15 minutes. So you could potentially do close to 400 million if you don't get interrupted or anything, which most of the time in wormhole space I'm not really concerned too much about speed or really like ISK per hour either. I'm just enjoying being out here killing the sleepers. And these sleeper ships, especially the battleships, are really ugly. I wonder if it was like a player design that they're like, no, it's not gonna work for players. Give it to an NPC, because they're pretty bad. A little bit of takes a little bit to get these guys down, but like I said, a lot of it's just flight time. I'm running crystal and a bunch of missile implants just to kind of help with application and stuff. Plus, you want more. I like to have more efficient booster ability, just so I can kind of red light, green light my booster when I'm dealing with heavy newts or something like that. But you can also opt to go with like just shield HP, or you can go with like, I don't know, Hydras if you want to have even longer reach. but for the most part, the generic, just the generic implants for flight time will do just fine. I just think the crystal implants are probably more value for this kind of thing. Go ahead and take these guys down. And last wave. So we're going to be getting these frigates down first. They're going to take the longest to target as well. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the cruiser targets. They're going to move in on me pretty quick. Once they get into range, we're going to get these drones out on them. I'm using tactical view with tracking, just so it's a little bit more engaging as far as watching it. See what some of these ships look like, and makes it a lot more interesting. Excuse me. Alright. We actually didn't select we were trying to go frigate, but we ended up putting the launchers on a cruiser. But we're close to a reload, so I'm going to let those 2 volleys kind of go. We'll do a reload and then get on frigates. But as you can see, warp disrupted, webbed, and then neuted. Those are all from the frigates. Once we get the frigates down, we'll be kind of good to go. And if you're really worried about the warp disruptor, then instead of like a oversized prop mod, just run a micro jump drive. Then you can just jump away from them and keep yourself out of warp disruption. But they go down pretty quick, so. And I've already broken their E-War anyway, so now we're gonna move on to these cruisers. Get those guys taken care of. Yeah. And like in previous videos, like, you know, we're waiting. I dropped the MTU early. You want to drop it as early as possible, just so you get everything looted by the time the last battleship goes down, and then you just kind of have to wait on the last guy. But overall, I mean, from what I've been doing in wormhole space the past week, I guess it's been a couple weeks now, is pretty good. It's getting a little, I guess it's getting a little repetitive, but I think that's pretty much anything in EVE. If you spend a lot of time in nullsec, then you get into a kind of routine, and where you figure out what you enjoy and how you like to make your ISK. And I think it goes across for any place you set up, really, whether it be high sec, Poshman, whatever, wormhole space. So to hopefully keep some diversity on the channel, I'm going to try to cover as much as the wormhole ratting as I can, but I might be looking to do some wormhole wormhole mining with maybe some of the expeditionary frigates or something like that. And then I think in February my goal is to probably start working on Poshman and doing some trig stuff. But in order to kind of be ready to go for Poshman, I want to make sure I've kind of covered as much of wormhole stuff as I can, which I'm progressing pretty nicely, and just kind of running all the sites and experiencing those, and it's fun. It can be a little stressful at times, but that's just how it goes. I actually personally like the idea that you can't see local, and there's like that other element of mystery kind of going on, but I know it's probably not everybody's ideal situation, which is fine. I just personally enjoy it because I think if you're really good with D-scan, and if you're really good about just overall survival in like nullsec and stuff like that, then I think wormhole space is even easier, I guess, since you have to rely more on the tools you're given rather than just this static systems in place like local letting you know. I mean so many people hunting in nullsec, they go into a system and then they see people in local, and like that just lets them commit to something. In wormhole space, if you don't see somebody in local, obviously they have to do a lot more work to commit to an engagement or something, and I think a lot of people don't have the patience, right? But But it's been pretty chill for me for the most part. All right, these are the last two guys, and then we're working on getting the last few wrecks in. Obviously, that last battleship that goes down, we're going to be waiting on that guy for a while. So, but yeah, I've been kind of enjoying this kind of format, the way that I've kind of taken the solo Omega, kind of, being snapshots, mostly snapshots into what I've been doing. And get just, basic, I guess, knowledge or perspective on the topic. A lot of this stuff in Wormhole is just it. And sometimes, if you're picky, if you want to run something in particular, it might take you a while to find it, and that's a lot of like going through wormholes, a lot of scanning. I think if you want to get into Wormhole, either living or just day tripping, get as much of those scanning skills as you possibly can, because it's just going to make your whole life much, much easier. And you don't necessarily have to like run your scanner on your rat ship. If you have an alt with you that can run your scan ship, and you can kind of, have the guy scanning while you're also running, or whatever the configuration might be, that works as well. But I think for me, to stay with like the flavor of like solo Omega, I do everything on the same character, just to kind of experience what that's like, and then having to switch. And I mean, I was doing Buzzard at the beginning for a while and scanning everything, but now I'm more or less moving into like Tengu with the scanner, and then even my Golem with the scanner, just so I don't have to switch around too much. But as you can see here, we've already got 77 million in here. This is the last wreck coming in, so pretty good income. It's probably gonna be about 80. So yeah, about 86. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.